Okay, so I thought I would shoot a video here to show you how to use this new feature to do the file conversions. And it'll also show you how to take any of the single keyed files and turn them into multi-keyed files. So what you'll do is come into the file manager here in the Enterprise Manager, and it shows up under File System. This feature is available in the 25.03, so it'll be in that release version, and it's also in the next release candidate. So pull up your File Manager here, and then you can use the navigator here, or you can just paste in a path or type it in to jump more quickly to the directory that you're looking for. And as you can see here, I've got a list of my files. And down here, what I'm going to do is I have some here that are M-keyed. You can see the little indicator next to it for the file type. And then you can scroll down here and you'll notice that, let's see, let me go ahead and select a couple here. Got those. You'll notice one here, this foo file that I created, it has a flag here, single keyed. So that will tell you if any of the files are single keyed. And you can also sort by these columns here. So if you want to sort by name, you can do it here. If you want to sort by the special column and find, so it groups all of the single keyed files together, you could do that also. And it'll make that easier to find that if that's the process that you're going through. So we go through, just select some files, and then you can right click, and you have the option of doing a convert. The convert option, as you'll see here, you can just select a target type. So it's a real quick way of converting from one file type to another. And but you also have another option here, create online copy job. And both of them basically do the same thing. So when you do convert, it will create an online copy job that where it's converting each of the selected files to the new type that you selected. But in this particular case, when you select create online copy job, you have the option of choosing a target type here or none. So we can say no type conversion if we don't want to convert the type, if we're wanting to transform the files that we selected in a different way. But in our case here, maybe we want to go to V-keyed, but then we also want to create a online copy job that we can easily go in and do manipulation on to further specify changes to the files that we want to make. So I'm just going to leave this here. This is the destination directory, my default one, and it's just going to add a .backup extension to each of the files. You could change this to something else. You could say vkeyed or something like that. Well, let's just do that. Hit OK. And then now what it did is it opened a online copy job editor over here with all those files that we had selected, so that we can either just save it as a job and run it, or we can go in and make some changes. So if you recall, foo was a single keyed file. So we might double click on that particular file and open it up in here. And now what we are wanting to do is convert that to a multi-keyed file. And so in order to do that, we need to click this button here, which pulls in the source template automatically. What it does is it looks through all of the database configurations for this particular data file at this path, and it says, hey, is there a table that points to this exact data file in any of my database definitions? And if so, go ahead and build me a string template from those column definitions and then plug that in here. So that plugs that in. We can hit this one and that just copies the string template over to here, because the online copy job does allow you to make changes to the column layout and the column types and structures if you want to. In our case, we're just changing the keys. But this is an important step before you go over to keys and indexes, because it needs to have some kind of column references in order to then allow us to specify where the primary key is. Now, the reason we can't just blindly convert all those files from single keyed to multi-keyed is we need to know what portion of the record or which fields the key, that fixed size key in a single keyed file, we need to know what data that actually refers to or maps to, lines up with. So we're going to click on keys and indexes, make sure target supports multiple keys. click the little add button here, and then we select our segment. So what we've added is a key segment here. Key number 0 is always going to be the primary key in a file. And so we click this button here, and now we're going to define the segments for that particular key or index. And we're going to add a segment here, and then we're going to select the column that we want for that particular segment. So as you can see, it shows those two columns that showed up in our string template. We know that the ID column is actually what the single keyed file, what was contained in that particular key. And so now we're going to map that here. And we won't need to change any of these for this particular case. Hit OK and hit OK. So now what that did is that, as you can see here, it kind of updated the type here. It's a template mapped. Basically, it's using the string template. And now when we finish configuring this job and save it and then run it, which I'll go ahead and do here. I'm going to just have it run locally. You could run it on a different machine if you want to. We put in our admin password and user. If you're using SSL, this is all, if you're connecting to a remote file system server, you might need to specify SSL or something like that. But in our case, we don't need to do that because we're just going locally. And now we're going to save our job. And I'm just going to save it in the same directory that I was in just for convenience. And I'll just call it convert.ocj. Save. Okay, so now that file is saved in a particular configuration file. Now, it hasn't started it yet. So in that particular case, that's where it does differ. If we did here and did convert and just set a file type, it will actually create the copy job and start it for us automatically, all in one step, but it also doesn't allow us to modify it. And so you can see where both of those features will come in handy. So in any case, now we're going to come over to the online copy jobs page. Now, had we used just convert, that job would already show up here. But since we haven't started our new job that we created here, it's not showing up here yet. So we're going to hit the play button here, or run, and you can see it should take us right in the directory where we were. We have, oh, that was a copy job from before. What did I name it? Oh, convert.ocj. And so I would open that one, double click on that, and now it's running. And since these were very small files, it would go very quickly. In your case, with real data files that have potentially hundreds of thousands or even millions of records, I'm not sure how many we have in our database, that may take a little while, but it'll show you the progress here, and it shows you the progress on each individual file. So now once that shows 100% there, then we can select that copy job and hit finish. And when we hit finish, it goes away. It's no longer running. And now we can come back to our file manager, and I'm going to refresh here, and you can see it's created a v-keyed version of each one of those files that we copied. So we had done cred code, there's one there. We had done this one, there's one there. You'll see the foo one. So we have a foo, and it converted it to v-keyed, and notice it no longer says single keyed, and that's because it's no longer a single keyed file. It's a multi-keyed file with a single key or index on it. And then that makes it much easier to add additional indexes, and so that makes it far more flexible. So hopefully that makes sense to you. That's the new tool that should be pretty flexible for doing those kinds of conversions. And let me know if you have any questions or if you run into any problems with that.